What's good, YouTube? It's your man BG Tech Life, and we 5 months in with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Let's talk about it. Now, guys, as you know, if you've been keeping up with my S22 Ultra coverage, I feel like this is one of the best phones on the market, if not the best phone on the market of the year, just because how Samsung does. I always tell you guys about how Samsung S devices drop at the beginning of the year. They get the new processor, then it has to fight every device throughout the year. And a lot of times comes out victorious, just like the S21 Ultra. There are some drawbacks that I finally got to that stage where there's some things that I don't like about the device. First of all, I normally get my devices through Verizon. I thought I was doing something big by not going through Verizon, going straight to Samsung and getting the S22 Ultra. I'm one of those guys where I put my hands on a lot of devices. So when it comes to the Pixel, spoiled when it comes to updates and fixes and security patches and things of that nature. The way that it's being done at Samsung, carrier devices are getting updates first. Unlocked devices, because that's what this is, an unlocked device, is getting updates last, which I just feel like I felt like I completely got played in the situation. Last month, matter of fact, I'm just getting July's security patch at the end of the month, like 2 days before the end of the month. That's just very disheartening. One thing very disheartening about this device. And second of all, it may be, I feel like Samsung, when they came out with this device, they came too low of a tier. Now, it was my fault to make this decision. I bought the 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of memory version, because everything else was so back ordered. This device actually did start to slow down on me, start to stutter just a little bit, because I put this device under a heavy workload. Like, you don't really see this device on YouTube because it's always doing something, creating thumbnails, making small videos, making reels, things of that nature. Once I filled up the memory, the device kind of fell apart, guys. So it kind of fell apart, it slowed down. It didn't completely fall apart, but once I started putting stress on the device and I had the memory almost full, that 8 gigabytes of RAM was not enough, and it started to stutter and act weird and do things out of character. So outside of that, once I will say, once I cleaned my phone up, move some things to some more permanent storage, move some things to the cloud, and freed up maybe about 20 gigabytes of RAM, then the device, got back to its normal self. But if you fill this device up with this 8 gigs of RAM, it's gonna act a little janky. But other than that, I mean, it's still my premier pickup go-to device. I just have to make sure that I do not overwhelm it with having the, 128 gigs free of storage and have it filled up to like 120 gigs. That's not, at that point, it's not going to work. It's not going to be as fluid, or it's just going to start to trip over itself. But as far as that goes, I mean, it's still the best display out this year. Nothing have rivaled it on the display to me, nothing I put my hands on. The camera, I'm still getting great footage, still shooting my YouTube videos. Some of my videos, especially anything that has to do with the iPhone, gonna be shot on this phone. Primarily, I use the iPhone, but sometimes I make iPhone videos. I use this device. I make them thumbnails on this device. I still use I'm an S Pen user. I love the Note. I mean, if I have to really get some things done on a cell phone, this 9 times out of 10 is gonna be the device I pick up still. And we late in the 2022. As far as any foldables go, I would not drop this phone for a foldable. This year, I would not get rid of it for a foldable. Foldables are just not my style of device. I just kind of like a traditional device. The foldables I had was just, they were too awkward. They lack battery life. They still got to work on those foldables. But yeah, guys, I mean, 5 months in, it's still my go-to device, but it does have some weak points and some weak spots. But still a great device. I wish I had I wish I had at least a 256 with 12 gigabytes of RAM. It's definitely not as fluid as my Pixel 6 Pro at all. It's fast when the memory is cleared up. It's fast, but it's janky at the same time. It doesn't move like fluid, even though it has a 120 hertz display. But yeah, it's still definitely a go-to. It's a device that if I only had to have one device out of all my devices, honestly, this is what I would be rocking out with. Hey, just a little 5-month update on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. It's your man BG Tech Life. If you're not following me on Twitter and Instagram, follow me BG_Tech Life. I'm out. Peace.